Just give me your first overall feeling. How good do you feel about the squad as we head into the opener?
Well, I feel like we put the work in for sure. I feel like our guys have done a tremendous job being focused through fall camp. I think they've got an understanding of what we need to do to be successful on Saturday. And then, you never know how this team is going to respond. I mean, this is a different team than 2018. This is the 2019 team, and how they respond will be, their identity and how they kind of go down in the history books. So I'm excited to see that this week.
You've got some great upper-class leadership. You've also got some freshmen who have really pushed those guys. Talk about camp in terms of the competition level. Guys who, maybe thought they had positions solidified, got a little run from some people, and how you think that competition will help you in the long run.
Yeah, we've had some young guys come in, especially at defensive back, some young guys at wide receiver, and some young guys at defensive line. They've got a legitimate shot of helping us out and playing early. I think that competition is a good thing for the entire room, whatever position group it is, and guys that can play the game of football. And so I think the biggest thing for them, these young guys that are going to have to take some reps or want to take some reps, and we need to take reps, how do they respond to those pressure situations will be really critical to our success, and also kind of moving forward, where they're going to end up, playing it out on the depth chart as the season goes on.
South Carolina State, they finished the year strong last year. They returned a ton of starters on defense, and you've talked earlier about the weapons they have offensively. What stands out to you as your biggest challenge on Saturday?
Well, I think you can't hurt yourself. You can't beat yourself. We watched the Miami-Florida game, and you watch 10 sacks for Miami and 14 penalties. You can't overcome those. There's not very many teams that can overcome those. I don't know if there's any that can overcome those types of negative plays. So, we're talking about no negative plays on offense, staying positive, positive plays all the time, procedure penalties we want to avoid, formation alignments, all that type of stuff is critical to our success. And then I think it really comes down to execution. I mean, we have an idea as far as what they're going to give us, but you really don't, because you don't have the volume of what they've done against us. I mean, we haven't played them since 2006, so it's going to be a lot of adjustments, and then just all about execution when you get out there as far as your fundamentals and your techniques.
Year two for you. Is this year have more of a Josh Conklin stamp on it? Are you that much more comfortable with where the program is under your leadership, year two versus year one?
Yeah, I mean, I feel good about, being a head coach. I feel like we've made steps in the right direction and we've made progress. I mean, I think the hardest thing for me, like coming in last year, is, it wasn't a rebuild, so we weren't rebuilding. It was finding the tweaks and what we need to make better. And I think we've done that. And I think we'll always do that and continue to do that. But yeah, I mean, we've put in some different things. We're going to continue to implement things that I've done in the past that I think could be successful, and that as a staff believe can be successful.
How ready are you personally for your senior year?
Oh, I'm very ready. It's something I've been thinking about since the season ended last year. Just trying to keep in mind and remind myself that this is my last go-round. I think it's easy to kind of just get caught up in the routine, the everyday thing, but I have to remind myself that to go into every day remembering that this is your last opportunity, so let's make the most of it.
I go out to practice and I see the weapons that you have around you, and I see Blake back, and some of the younger guys are stepping up. What does it feel to lead an offense that has so many different things that you can do?
It's fun. It's really fun. Just from the quick throws to the deep balls to the intermediate stuff to the everything, like, it's so fun just watching these guys run and be out in space and getting them the ball. It's especially Blake, having him back is huge. It's so big, and I'm just so glad to see him healthy. Jimmy coming off the injury, he's back slinging it around, and he looks really good, and I'm just so happy to see all these guys back.
Where are you at this week? How does it build as the week goes on?
Right now, I feel like I'm pretty calm, just trying to focus in on South Carolina State and what they do as an offense. But I know, obviously, as game day gets closer and closer, I'm going to get a little more anxious and excited and ready to go. So we're all just ready to go. We're tired of hitting on each other for the past 4 weeks, so we're ready to get after it.
You're one of the emotional leaders of this team. Do you have any doubts about the team's ability to get up for a non-conference opponent to start the year?
Oh, no. I have no doubt about our ability to get up or to play or to compete with anybody in the country. I feel like we have really good schemes, and we also have really, really good players. And you put that together, and with the right chemistry, you can be really, really successful.
What do you know about South Carolina State offensively? I know they've got a one quarterback returning, a new quarterback that might see some. Have you seen much tape on them, and what jumps out at you?
Yeah, we've watched some tape on them. We're starting to get into that a little more heavy this week. They're athletic. I mean, teams nowadays, they're recruiting athletic players. So the quarterback, he's super athletic. They have some really good stable of running backs, number 24, number 18. They come in with two tight sometimes, one tight, so they have good tight ends. So they're really well balanced. They got some good athletes on the edges, so it's going to be a test.
Play some younger guys on defense. Certainly the opener, some freshmen in the secondary have really stepped up. How comfortable are you with where they are at as they enter, for some of them, their first college game?
I'm very comfortable with them. I mean, they wouldn't be out there if they couldn't get the job done. Miles Richardson, Jaheim Hazel, both of them, they've came in early last year, and they kind of got a handle on it. They're understanding the things, so they'll come in, they'll help us a lot. I think the coaches are doing a good job of not putting too much on them, like find your role, what your role is, and come in and you do it the best of your ability. So I think they'll come out with the seniors and then the juniors that we have behind them. They should be comfortable in just doing their job and just making the plays that come to them.